Al Pals, even though nobody's listening right now, just getting on to try a few things out, play around with a video and a countdown, just trying to see if they worked, and just wanted to say hi and do an impromptu, long awaited for, very long. It's been since I've done one afternoon with Al. Hello, Ghost Team, Ghost Planet, forever. How are you doing? Thank you. Yes, I am back. Just popped on. I was just here, not really doing much, and kind of thought, let me get on and see if anybody out there is paying attention and wanted to chat, wanted to ask me any questions, tell me anything, see how things were. Big Al, it's hot where we are. Well, it's I think it's kind of nice here. I don't get out much, side that is. I very much like my air conditioner, and it's nice and cool where I'm at right now, and enjoying it, and just just kind of like chilling in the AC. I'm very much a disliker of heat and humidity. Being a larger person, I get very sticky very quickly and don't like it. So I decided to do it. And you've updated your channel to Go Team Ghost Planet. K-Landers, how are you doing? Yes, it's been a long time. I've been doing a lot the last year. With moving, and then just getting in a routine and figuring out life. And then my mom passed in February, so I've kind of been a bit of a malaise, getting over that, taking care of paperwork and all that kind of stuff, and just you know doing what I can. I've done some videos. I keep doing my rewatches, my films with friends, and the book studies. But I really haven't taken the time just to kind of get on here and say hi. And so I thought I would do that. Uh, oh, thank you, K Landers. Yeah, it was tough losing mom. Mom and I had been um, a symbiotic unit for basically ever. Lost my father when I was 3, and I kind of made a little subliminal um, thought to myself that I would always make sure she was all right. So I kind of never really left home for any length of time, except for like some time at college and some stuff like that. But I was always kind of there for my mom, and she was always there for me when I had my back and spine troubles. Mom was there for me, visited me every day, not every day, every Sunday when I was upstate, about an hour and a half, 2 hour drive for her. And she was in her 80s, 70s at the time, late 70s, early 80s. So I mean, God bless her. She kept me sane. Uh, have Cheeto Will View. How are you doing? Thanks for joining me. Like I said, I used to do these every blue moon. Just wanted to get get on and kind of chat away, see what people had to say. Uh, K-Layers, you'd like to see a review of The Kingsman. You're talking about the third one, right? The third movie in that franchise. Haven't seen it yet. I saw the first one with the prof, waiting to watch the second one with the prof whenever he gets here again. So that's kind of going to be our thing. Love the first one. Uh, so I'm, not sure what to expect. Well, I know what to expect from the second one. I just, that's just going to be mine and his kind of a thing. Thank you, Have Cheetah Review. Yeah, losing mom was tough. Really, the first time I've been on strictly my own. You know, I've never really lived by myself. I either had a roommate or mom, or or friends. It's weird, but I'm getting used to it. Big Al, we hope Fan Man returns from his self-imposed retirement at the Fortress of Fanitude or the Fan Man Cave. Yeah, I hope so too. I don't have anything I can or will say about that, although I do not expect him to stay incommunicado for long. I think the bug is going to bite him eventually. I might try to get him on for a special rewatch. We'll see what happens. Halloween is just around the corner. For him, it's always just around the corner. But yeah, you know what that's like. Um, yeah, the third one. Yeah, I I think it's a prequel, isn't it? It's like how they first came about, the Kingsmen, as it were. I think in the second one is something happens to them, and the Statesman, the U.S. version of them, kind of comes into play. I'm kind of looking forward to that. Kind of see what it is. People had issues with the second one. People always have issues with something. Yeah. I mean, God forbid it not be something not be perfect or what you thought or even hoped it might be. I've always been, as I have said, I wait to see how something plays out. I have expectations, sure, but nothing has to meet those expectations in order for me to enjoy something. I could go into something expecting it to be terrible, or even thinking it might be terrible, and still have fun with it. I used the example of Ouija Shark that I did a little I don't know if I did. Yeah, I did kind of like a little review on it, or just an opinion piece. Ouija Shark, one of the worst movies of all time, but darn was it a lot of fun to watch. And my review, as much as it was a warning, uh, Troy and Nanette still ended up watching it, and they agreed it was dumb fun. The Fortress of Fanitude in Antarctica, or his fan cave in the icy parts of Pluto. No, he's down there in Lafayette, Louisiana, or wherever. I think it's Lafayette. I forget. It's down there in Louisiana where he is dealing. He's living his life, dealing with his family. Yeah, the prequel. Share Shared out on my CT. What does that mean, Gina? CT, or is that Connecticut? um, Did someone mention Ouija Shark? Brett Kelly strikes again. Yeah, I like bad movies. I like shark movies. So it only goes to say that I will watch a bad shark movie. There's still a couple I need to catch up on. I did watch that one with Alicia Silver. Is it Alicia Silverstone? I think she was in that. Their little bungalow gets knocked off its foundation and goes out to sea, and they have to fight a shark. Yeah, that was pretty bizarre. Not the greatest film in the world. Joker 2 would make Fan Man come out of retirement. Would he rip the film apart? Also, all the Ezra Miller news. Fan Man hates Ezra Miller like I do. Yeah, am I hearing right that they're thinking about making Joker 2 a musical with Lady Gaga playing Harley Quinn? Now, first of all, Lady Gaga's Harley Quinn, don't laugh that off. I think she could pull off a Harley Quinn, but I don't want to see her as a Harley Quinn in Joker 2. I think she would have been an interesting choice for Harley Quinn because I'm going to say it right now. I think Lady Gaga's very talented. I think she could pull something like that off. but she can also go a little weird. She's kind of a she's a scale. You never know what side it's going to tilt on. I hope you and the fan man will one day get around to a rewatch of Shadow 1999. We were going to do that. At one time, we had actually planned it. I actually downloaded it for said rewatch, and then something happened. Like he got busy doing something or he got sick, and it just never came back up again into the mix. But you're right. We were going to do Shadow at one point, and it just flew off the hilt. Did someone mention Ouija show? Yeah, but okay, I said that way. I didn't like Alec Baldwin, but I liked him on the Shadow movie. Yeah, the Shadow movie's pretty cool. And Fan Man's a big fan of the Shadow. Uh, I send him Shadow art once in a while when I see something really good and something I haven't seen before. Daniel Heron, yes, this is live. I am live at last. I was bored. I'd fixed my lunch and there was nothing on except Friends repeats or a Hallmark movie that was kind of of a Hallmark movie. I'd seen it before. Then I put my dishes on, laid back down because my back was hurting again, like it always does after about an hour in the chair. And I thought, you know what? People have been asking, people have been insisting that I do an afternoon with Al. And I just thought I would get on here and do said thing. Uh, Fan Man sits on his throne, frozen in his fortress. Yes, he. Yes, I can imagine this big giant throne with like you know bats hanging over him, gargoyles all around the room, like a super villain. Throne says Lord Grimley's manor. Yeah, I don't know. He said he's not quite sure if his thing with Grimley's works anymore, since he doesn't do live streams anymore. I don't think it really. I don't think it comes into play anymore. So if you've tried, Ezra Miller is a pedophile and a criminal. He should be in jail. I'm just reading this. I'm not saying. I cannot say. I can only say alleged. He has been alleged to be doing some hinky things with underage girls. And I'm not sure. I don't know. Who knows? I'm not a judge, a jury, or law enforcement. But Ezra Miller has done enough for me not to give a flying, you know what, about the Flash movie. And they've put it. It's already. I think they've already filmed it. It's going to be a train wreck. I think it will either do gangbuster business because of people who like to see train wrecks, and they'll go to it. They'll probably go to it to see all the cameos. I don't think Ezra Miller, if he was alone in this movie, that thing would tank worse than Eternals, which I don't really think technically tanked, but I'm just trying to use a metaphor. But I don't think that was such a good idea for them to kind of continue this after the first issue they had. But they put all their eggs in a basket, and they're gonna have a lot of omelets to deal with. I think. I don't think he's ever going to come back and do the role again. I'm definitely thinking this is it for his version of the Flash. They should have just got Grant Gustin and used Grant Gustin's outfit because that bloody thing they got him Ezra Miller wearing is atrocious. Okay, you guys are talking to each other. Um, yeah, soundtracks of Birdman did do the Shadow, if I remember correctly. That is right. What are my thoughts on public domain? Says Kay Landers. Do you wish copyright had been shorter on some things? How would you change things in terms of IP and the public domain? Uh, I I kind of go back and forth on public domain. I mean, yeah, there's going to be some things that by this time should be in the public domain. Definitely all the mythologies, all the Hercules, the Robin Hoods, the King Arthur, even up to things like Zorro, uh, even like Dracula. I don't know if Dracula is technically in the public domain, but I think there needs to be a cutoff. But when you have a lot of money, you could throw at something to keep control of it, like a Superman or a Batman. Uh, I don't know. It's hard enough for people to make money. It's hard enough to have something good. But do you really want people who barely have an idea doing a really, really even worse Superman movie? I don't know. I mean, Man of Steel was bad enough, and that was done with people who had the rights to use it. So I don't know. I go back and forth on it. Definitely a lot of things that are very old that are in the public domain. Let's stay that way. But a lot of people do have, once you get money involved in something, people get really nasty and mean. And when you get old movies that are in the public domain, like Phantom of the Opera is in public domain. Anybody could download a version of Phantom of the Opera, put it on DVD, and sell it. But you can't be guaranteed a quality. So there could be a lot of quality issues when you deal with the public domain. I don't know. I'm not really big into knowing a lot about the public domain, but I kind of go back and forth on it. I'm kind of wishy-washy on it. Kay Landers, I like Razor Fist, but I disagree with him on public domain video. I don't know Razor Fist. Is Razor Fist a YouTuber? Uh, Truth be told, I am very evasive of other YouTubers in the political rate. Not okay. Let me say that again. Um, I kind of don't like to get into listening to other YouTubers when they give too many review. I like reaction videos, but I'm not a news listener. Like someone's like the latest on season 3 of The Mandalorian. I don't care because too many people got their own personal views in it, and there's enough bad blood going around. I don't want to be pissed off at people who are telling me certain things and giving me bad info or info that's a little twisted. I read an article a few weeks ago, and it said star of the Book of Boba Fett trashes his own series. And I read the article because I was like, how did he trash the series? He basically said, I don't know if I would have had him speak as much, but that's just me. That's him trashing it. He gave an honest, light opinion. It was in no way trashing it. So I don't like that kind of editorializing. I think that's the word, editorializing. Wow, I'm glad I thought of that. But yeah, I just kind of I keep to my own views. I watch what I want to watch, and be damned what anybody has to say about it. Yes, I'm watching Obi-Wan Kenobi. I am loving Obi-Wan Kenobi. And I'm reading all these things like, yo, it's so bad that I'm like, it is? What are you watching? Are you watching? Or you hate watching? You're watching it just to find little piddly points to pick out and make a big deal out, like the scooter bikes from Book of Boba Fett. That was the worst thing they could come up with, or those colorful scooter bikes that those mods had. Please. Um, Big Al, we are fine with it. We've got you, Professor Geeks, Graver, Birdman, Wolf 10, and more. Speaking of Wolf 10, he will be joining me tomorrow night on Films with Friends as we watch Pacific Rim, the Guillermo del Toro great robots versus kaiju film. I've been wanting to do this one for a while, and I thought of Giant Robot June. We've already done RoboJocks or Robot Jocks, sorry. So doing Pacific Rim tomorrow night, and Wolf 10 will be there with the Pacellis, and it's going to be Troy and Nanette's first time watching it. It's sad. Big Al, us and Troy and Netter had a yeah. I'm not gonna highlight that one. I don't want to get, and it's nothing. I just don't like getting in other people's disagreements, uh, or whatever. If you have an issue with another person or YouTuber, I really don't want to be really a part of it. Sorry, I am sorry that happened. I hope one day you'll still show up. I hope you still at least listen. Maybe give a thumbs up to my stuff. Uh, but yeah, I just kind of don't want to deal with that. Um, Big Al, if Superman and Batman had been in the public view, DC could still use them and be incentivized to create new things. Um, you're right. It's I mean, would DC wouldn't find it the cash cow or their proverbial solo cash cow. Everybody's going to be doing it, and then Marvel might want to do a Batman or Superman story. Wouldn't that be weird? We think DC's bad with them. God knows what happened. They ended up in the Marvel universe. Yeah, I go back and forth on it. I'm not a lawyer or as much of a creative force as someone like the Fan Man or Professor Geek. So I kind of don't really know enough about the public domain issues, which is why I'm kind of very on the fence, wishy washy about it because I'm not studied in it. Things I know about, I'll give you my opinion straight up, but I'm not really big into the public domain stuff. So just my other thing. The Dracula, going up, gotta go down, gotta go. Okay, there you go. Sorry, everybody's getting ahead of me. The Dracula book is in public domain. Also, the Frankenstein books are. Yeah, I think that's where Universal has the rights to the images of Frankenstein and their version of Dracula. Like you can do something with Dracula, but you can't do their version of Dracula Frankenstein. You give Frankenstein a flat head, you're going to get Universal's going to want a piece of the pie. Uh, and speaking of Universal, I do run iconic Universal Monsters on Facebook. Still doing it, still plugging away. 3 posts a day, usually. A lot of repeats, but I try to not do it too often. I try to give at least a year in between. Yeah, quality is always going to go back and forth. We're going to get good and bad interpretations, whether or not something's in public domain. You're right, fan fiction, you know, but I think it's the matter of making money off of it. As long as there's a chance, like Star Trek, you have something like Axanar, which is an A1 grade production quality, and they can't make money from it because it's Star Trek. And they get shut and they got into a pissing contest with Paramount, and now they can only be like, was it 20 minutes, half hour length films for that are Star Trek inspired. There was some kind of thing. I know they're still kind of batting back and forth. Axanar, man, Axanar is so good. Uh, so is Star Trek Continues. Star Trek Phase One was really good. Uh, Starship Farragut, if anyone's ever gotten into those were local guys. Well, for me, they were in the DC area, uh, doing another starship and another crew, the USS Farragut, and they're getting ready and they're filming Farragut Forward, which is in the Kirk movie years, in the like Wrath of Khan era. And I've seen a teaser that they did. It looks really good, and their Connie, because the original USS Farragut was a Constitution. The new one is a Miranda class. It looks pretty sweet. I'm looking forward to when they finally get their stuff done, but it's a lot of money to do those. God bless them, though. Fan Man likes Razor Fist, Fisk got me to check out The Shadow. Okay, good. They're making a Winnie the Pooh horror. Oh, I know. Winnie the Pooh horror where they're cannibals and they murder everyone and Eeyore's a suicidal donkey. Uh, yeah, I think Winnie's in the public domain, isn't he? I will say I did see the horror version of the Banana Splits. I kind of liked it in a weird. I liked it in one of those bad movie like kind of ways. It was kind of it was funny. I just was in the right mood when I was watching it. Film sounds like nihilistic garbage. Yeah, you know, but that, like I said, people have weird visions of stuff and um, kind of things like that. Oh, talking about Doc Savage. Man, I never really got into Doc Savage. Never really came across him too well. Yeah, yeah. Da-da-da, just trying to see where I am tagged. I guess I could check out James Boyle's videos on it. I could send you links on Twitter. That's all right. I really don't. I mean, I know enough to get in trouble, but not enough to really go too far in it. I think more public domain is for creators and I'm not a creator. I watch things and tell you if I like it or not. That's basically what I do. I think what Jurassic Park. Oh man, I didn't do it in the entire video, and I did then. Jurassic World, Dominion. I think I liked it a lot more than a lot of other people did. I liked it. It was okay. Nothing new. Same old, same old. If you like dinosaurs chasing people, you'll like Dominion. A lot of public domain superheroes. Yeah, there's somebody out there. Big Al, yeah. Oh yeah, I think I saw that one, didn't I? Yeah, the Suicidal Donkey. Winnie the Pooh is public domain. The books with Tigger are not yet. Yeah, I heard something about that. That's why Tigger's not in the movie. I think I did read something about that. That's why Tigger is not in the movie. Let me see here. Winnie the Pooh should be in Fables comics. They got new Fables comics with Bigby Wolf coming out. They use public domain characters like Dracula and Frankenstein and Mr. Hyde. Yeah, see, that's content. I would love to see a 100% authentic, true to book Dracula. I know the fan man's the same way, I think. Taking nothing away from a lot of the other Dracula movies. But it would be neat to see one that you could actually, like, if you're ever teaching the book, you could literally show to people and go, this is Dracula. You know, if you don't feel like reading the book, watch the movie and you can still pass the test. Anybody else do that in school? Oh God, I did that way too often. I used to hate reading. I had squirrel syndrome. You get distracted. Squirrel. I just had a hard time. I was never a good reader. I think the only book I read consistently all the way through, like in one day, was Splinter of the Mind's Eye by Alan Dean Foster, the first sequel to Star Wars pre-Empire, when Luke and Leia were still a possible romantic couple, which is really creepy to read now. But yeah, that's just kind of how it goes. Uh, Big O said if Masters of the Universe goes public domain, the prof will be high on happiness, and I would totally understand. I would love to see the prof do a Masters of the Universe story. I want to see what he would bring to bear. He's always talking about other people's work. I want to see what he would bring to the Masters of the Universe franchise. I'd love to see, maybe he should. I'm going to challenge the prof if he's listening. Write a Masters of the Universe inspired short story. I want to see what you come up with. Where would you take that character? He might have done a video on it. I just haven't seen all of his videos because, like I said, squirrel syndrome. I do that a lot. Uh, I have listened to some of his opinions on uh, Disney Plus series and things like that. And we have a nice little fond disagreement about that, and that's fine. But I sometimes wonder. It's like, I do hear these negative opinions. What would you bring? Where would you take this? Now I know with Star Wars he'd go the EU, all the EU stuff, Thrawn, which is fantastic. I definitely would not. If I were in charge of Star Wars, and I know they probably won't do this unless someone like me or the professor ever gets in charge of Disney. I would totally jettison the sequel series because it was terrible as a trilogy. I will say I thought the first movie, Force Awakens, was not a bad little starting point. They could have gone in a lot of great directions with that. And I know I'm going to get a lot of people hating on me for this, and that's fine. I still think there was potential in that universe, those characters, before Luke threw his lightsaber away. That was a downhill spiral for the franchise after that. Last Jedi, I still say Last Jedi is not a bad movie. It's a bad Star Wars movie on hindsight, especially after watching Rise of Skywalker, which is a terrible movie. It's a cluster F. It is a snafu. If everybody knows what the true letters of snafu mean, uh, Rise of Skywalker was horrible. At least Last Jedi was a decent movie. It wasn't a good Star Wars movie, but at least it was quality filmmaking. And it was actually the story's made even worse by Rise of Skywalker, which a lot of people thought was in it. But and I know a lot of people will disagree, and that's totally fine. Fu Manchu books are in public domain. Yeah, Fu Manchu. Oh man, but you know what? When you start dealing with Asian characters, Fu Manchu. When I was growing up, I loved Charlie Chan, Warner Oland, Sidney Toler, the two actors who were my Charlie Chan. And there was also Mr. Moto, who was played by Peter Lorre. But of course, they were not Asian actors. I don't know if you could do those today effectively, but they were such good movies, so fun. Sidney Toler, Warner Oland. Oh, I watch Charlie Chan movies all the time, and I love them. Key Luke is number one son, or was he number two son? I forget. But I love the Charlie Chan movies. Ah, I love them. Um, yeah, lots of public domain villains. Marvel lost the rights to the Fu Manchu character, so they had to establish just one of many aliases he used. I think his real name was established as Zheng Zhu. Yeah, I don't know. I'm probably not thinking of the same Fu Manchu because there was that old Boris Karloff movie. I think is The Mask of Fu Manchu with Karloff playing Fu Manchu. And I think there was a movie in the 70s, 60s, 70s. I think Christopher Lee has played it. And I think who Peter Sellers. Okay, wait. Peter Sellers played a detective who was like Charlie Chan in Murder by Death. I gotta watch Murder by Death on my rewatch one day. And if anybody's wondering about this little free association I'm having, it is pretty much is what Afternoons with Al is all about. Just me talking and responding. Um, do-do-do-do-do-do. It's fun. It's fun. Shang-Chi in the comics is the son of a semi-public domain villain. Uh, it, Shang-Chi, I kind of liked that movie. Wasn't great, but I kind of liked it. I liked it. I didn't love it, but I liked it. A lot of people, I say I like something, and people like have a fit. I'm like, it's not like I want to have like dinner with it, and, have a romantic dinner and get all sexy with it. I liked it. Big deal. It wasn't it wasn't this great film, but it was watchable. I'm glad they took care of the whole Mandarin issue, sort of. kind of, in a weird way. They at least redeemed Ben Kingsley a little bit. Okay, good Coast. Can they can make fun? Oh, they can, God, yeah. Okay, Fu Manchu or Ra's al Ghul like an immortal wizard or mystic. Um, yeah, like I said, I don't know Fu Manchu that well, so kind of getting lost on that one. I love mystery science theater episodes about Fu Manchu. Okay, Kay Landers is back. Troy's in the house. Big Al presents Murder by Death. Gotta go to the can again. I don't want to miss nothing. Yeah, that's a fun film. That is a film I ain't gonna say a personal relationship with, but I remember seeing that in the movie theater twice. That's how much I liked that movie back then. I haven't seen it in a long time. I am wondering what 57-year-old Al would think of this movie that I saw in the 70s when I was still fairly young. And for some reason, I got all the references, all the parodies, the satire that they were doing. A great cast. Like I said, Peter Sellers, Alec Guinness, Peter Falk. God, who else is in that movie? Who's not in that movie? There's a lot of that. That's a loaded film. There's a lot of great talent in that movie. I might have to put that maybe I still haven't done November yet. I've got all my rewatches planned out for the rest of the year except November. For some reason, November eludes me because I kind of thought I might put October's films in November. I'll tell you right now, October currently, the subject to change. I've got the original 1976 Grizzly and the 1978 or 79 Piranha. It's going to be when nature attacks, basically, for Halloween. Uh, Two very popular in their day cult movie Jaws inspired films. But I was thinking if I went more regular horror, more like gothic type horror for October, I might move them to Nature Attacks November. But I'm not sure. I might keep November. It's still a ways away. Like I said, doing Pacific Rim this week. In July, it's going to be Gone with the Wind, July 2nd, starting at 8 o'clock early. I'm going to do Casablanca 2 weeks after that. And then 2 weeks after that, the original 1951 version of The Day the Earth Stood Still. That's July. August, got some cool stuff for August. And September, got September all planned out. Uh, should be a lot of fun coming up. So yeah. Uh, Anyone watch the mythology guy on YouTube? His videos are funny and educational. Um, I think I know who you're talking about. I might have seen one or two. And if it is who I'm thinking about, they are good. I just don't know his name. Um, I know I showed you one video of him. Oh, mythology guy. Maybe who I'm thinking of then, because I do remember someone sent me a video of a mythology guy. I just don't remember his name. Mystery Science Theater is doing Dr. Mordred film with Jeffrey Combs. Okay. Met Jeffrey Combs. Nice guy. I do miss when I used to go to conventions and meet stars and people like that. Big Al presents. I don't plan that far in advance, but I have scheduled the holiday special in order to pull Pops on Pops Culture in as a guest the Friday before Thanksgiving. Sounds good. Sounds good. If everybody doesn't know, Troy is now going to be doing the yearly Star Wars Holiday Special rewatch. He pulled out put down there somewhere what the version was we watched last year, the improved version, which really made it much, much more watchable. I got to applaud you for that because that was good. And I know you sent me a copy on a DVD somewhere. I just still haven't gotten all my DVDs arranged and straight. I don't know where. I still haven't gotten all my books out. I've still really gotten very few of my books out. But yeah, so keep an eye out for that in November. Definitely doing that in November. The Star Wars Holiday Special. Always a lot of fun. Always kind of painful. But it's kind of like drinking a lot of liquor on New Year's Eve. You know you're going to hurt the next day, but it's kind of a tradition. You kind of got to do it. Um, Also doing Robot Wars. Do you mean Robot Wars or Robot Jocks? The film that I did. Um, is there a Robot Wars? There's probably is a Robot Wars movie. Now that I think about it, I think there is a Robot Wars movie because I think I came across of it down in the IMDb page when I was getting info on Robot Jocks, which I always like to do. Big episode in Greek mythology. I feel sorry for Prometheus, the way he was punished by Zeus for introducing fire to humanity. Yeah, the punishment didn't quite fit the crime, did it? Let's like chain you to a rock, have a vulture poke out your liver every day, and you just lay there and think about what you did. I always like the Xena and Hercules team up episode they did on that. I think it was an episode of Xena and had Hercules as a guest star, Kevin Sorbo. Every now and then, I know Sci-Fi Channel or Syfy still plays Xena, and every now and then I'll if I'm awake early enough and it's on, I sometimes I'll put it on. I usually fall back asleep because it's on very early. Like this morning, I got up and I asked Alexa what time it was. It was 6:30. I was like, "Oh, I got some time. Let me sit here and check this and check that, and I'll get up early enough and make myself something really cool for breakfast." Went right out. It was like 8:30 before I got up, so I just nuked a couple of burritos. Uh, Breakfast burritos. El Monterey, very good. On sale at Food Lion this week. I'm hoping to get 2 bags to shore up my supply. Not that I will eat all that much in a week. Every 3 days, 3 4 days, I like them. But if I do wake up late, I do usually nuke something. I got some corned beef hash I've been saving for when I get up early one day. Again, how I go off on a tangent. Um, okay, is anyone else tired of Hades being portrayed as the villain when the other gods did way more messed up stuff? I'm not going to say get tired of it, but you're right. Hades is not a bad guy. He's actually, I mean, he did some shady stuff, like steal Persephone. I mean, he was lonely, and she was hot, and we wouldn't have winter if he didn't do it, or spring. So yeah, I mean, yeah, Hades. I never view Hades as a bad guy. Uh, I like to view the Olympian gods kind of as people with issues. you know, they're neither good nor bad. They are right. They have feelings, intentions, and um, agenda, just like anybody else does. Zeus was a hound dog. You know, it was always God, Lord knows Hera must have been patient. Uh, and he had a temper. Just as Hephaestus. Poor guy sided with mom and gets tossed off the mountain. Messed him up pretty good. And Hephaestus is my favorite god, by the way, because I used to do blacksmithing, and I've always liked blacksmithing mythology. Hephaestus, Vulcan, Saint Dunstan is a good story. Catching the Catholic saint who did battle with the devil and snagged him by the nose, and one of the reasons why he stays away from blacksmiths and why horseshoes are good luck. Look into Saint Dunstan and what he did. That was kind of cool. It's called Thank the Maker Cut. Oh, okay, yeah. I cannot find it anywhere online anymore, but I'm willing to do giveaways of DVDs for people who stop by the stream. Had another reason to stop by the stream, guys. And speaking of rewatches, of course, once again saying we are going to be watching Pacific Rim tomorrow night. If you do not own a copy of it, don't worry. We always, when Troy's in there, I'll say Troy always provides a Cosby link where you can watch the movie and listen to us. So don't sweat it. But if you don't own a copy of Pacific Rim, why not? It was an awesome film. I'm kind of looking forward to it. I haven't seen it for about a year. I used to watch it all the time. My mother used to hate watch that. She'll come. I'll sit there and I like see it's on and I'll turn it on sneakily while she's sitting in my room, and she's like, oh, "This thing again." God rest her soul. God love her. It's been a while since I checked out MeWe. I want to get around to it. Yeah, you know what? I only go on MeWe when I need to send something to Troy or Nanette or Boomer. Oh, and Wolfie's on there a lot too. But I'm on there, but I really don't use it for anything except for rewatch stuff. I still do Facebook. I don't see why people have issues with Facebook. I never did. That's I don't know. And she was his niece. Oh wait, this is the Greek mythology. It's this is no big deal to them. Yeah, you know, different time, different civilization, different culture. I'm not going to judge. But you know who Zeus really had a hard time with? Athena. She was always such a headache. If you got that, good on you. Yeah, MeWe does look a lot like Facebook. Yeah, and like I said, that's how I keep in touch with Troy. And except Nanette is still on Messenger. I still use Messenger. I always use Messenger most of the time. Oh, I see my name here. I heard of Festus. Please correct my spelling. Uh, Close enough. I knew who it was. Got a happy ending. Married another goddess of beauty who didn't cheat on him. Another one? Oh, I don't know. I have never heard that version of it. I know after I know, Aphrodite had her dalliances with Ares, but Hephaestus got up on them. You didn't mess with Hephaestus. He could make something to do you in. That's why I like Hephaestus. He was much maligned, had a bad leg, but he had a hot wife, even though she cheated on him, but he caught her. One of the lesser goddesses, of three lesser goddesses. You know what? Lesser goddess or not, goddess is cool. You can't if you're carrying around the title of a goddess, you're not going to be in in bad shape. In fact, I'm thinking of some women right now that I would tag with the title goddess. Sorry, I'm going away for a few moments. Yes, a lovely day. More about Winnie. Winnie the Pooh have Eeyore with a side of honey wine. Have Eeyore with a side of honey wine? Are you talking about eating Eeyore? Well, I guess you might be with the whole concept of that movie. Like I said, it's not the first time they've taken a children's property and turned it into a horror film. The aforementioned Banana Splits movie, which I still enjoyed. So I'm gonna wait till I hear more about this Winnie the Pooh thing. Um, and if you didn't see the Banana Splits thing, they were robots. They were animatronic automatons that went crazy. Just so you know. Uh, but it's a brain dead film. But some of that sometimes that's good. You don't need to have super intelligent content all the time. Like I said, Troy watched a Ouija shark. He'll tell you, and I warned him. uh, oh, Final Fantasy fan 012. Are there that many Final Fantasy fans? Are there 12 of them out there? Ought one too. Hey, how you doing? Just hanging around. Plus, I'm writing a recap of the Metal Gear series. Cool. Never got into Metal Gear. Not a gamer. Uh, Not that I wouldn't. I don't know. I just was never wired that way. I've played video and computer games before. It's just nothing that really hooks me. Although I do like Angry Birds. That is about as outrageous a video game as I do. And Texas Hold'em Poker on the Zynga Poker thing on Facebook. I play that too. That's a lot of fun for me. I like that. Festus 2 up with Aglaia. Oh, hooked up with Aglaia. Okay, after Aphrodite, I believe was one of also of the beauty domain. I never came across that aspect of Hephaestus. Yeah, my mythology book is not complete as I thought it was. I'll have to look that up. Yeah, Hephaestus did deserve better than Aphrodite. Oh, if you guys remember the whole Hercules and Xena shows, the girl they had playing Aphrodite on that show, nice. I always liked Kevin Smith on that show too. The guy playing Hades, not Hades, Ares. It's sad he did what he did to himself. It's so sad. He was cool. He was very much in the vein. I almost see a lot of. If anybody remembers Arrow's Manu Bennett, who played Deathstroke on Arrow, kind of a similar vibe I got from him that I got from Kevin Smith. Kind of big, tough, rugged kind of guy I would like to look like in a weird way. Kind of guy you could sit down with and have a pint and throw some shrimp on the Barbie. I had some shrimp for lunch. We got okay. If you also like Celtic mythology, I recommend listening to a song about Cucalion by Miracle of Sound. I don't know if I've heard of that one. I know who I say Cucalion. I don't know if I pronounce it right. I've also heard Cuculain. Um, I've heard ch sounds floating around in there. If you ask 5 people to tell you what it's called, you'll get 5 different responses. I do like Celtic mythology. I don't know as much about it as I would like, um, but I know some. And I've always wanted to get into more, but like I said, a lot of my books are tucked away, uh, and I just keep doing other things than doing that. Troy, so big opposite. Sounds like to me the Banana Splits film was as I predicted, a Five Nights at Freddy ripoff. Well, considering I never saw Five Nights at Freddy's, so yeah, I don't know. Yeah, they were the Banana Splits that all the kids loved, and they had an appearance or something, and the guy who created them or something had an issue and had planted a weird program, and they just started going crazy for some reason. I forget. I only saw it the one time. It's not exactly a repeat view kind of a movie, but they were. I mean, if you like the Banana Splits, it's definitely something to kind of check out just for the ridiculousness of it all. Okay, Cedric Moz, how you doing? Thank you. Good day. Thank you. Uh, okay, well, it could make fun of nihilistic garbage running entertainment. Well, would be a parody of it. Yeah, I have mixed feelings about Artemis. Oh, how so? What are your feelings about Artemis? I do too. Well, I know she and Apollo are twins. Apollo's okay. He has his issues, unless you have the Star Trek version of it. I like the Star Trek version of Apollo. It's sad that the actor who played Apollo just lost his wife. Very sad. My condolences. If I can't remember his name. Foster. can't think of his name right now. You sent a message on MeWe with a link to a film. I think you should review when it comes out if you haven't already. Amityville in Space. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Amityville in Space. That's got to be quote unquote good. Cedrus did not know I did these. I used to do them once in a blue moon, and it's literally been several blue moons since I've done it. The last one. I haven't done one since I think I moved, which was last May. And I don't know when I did it before that. Like I said, with the whole resettling in and just stuff happening lately, I just didn't do it. I just hadn't done one in a long time. Because when Mom was alive, she would sit in my room all the time. She had her own TV, but she sat in my room to watch television. So, and I never wanted to do one in front of her for personal reasons. Just weird. I just felt weird doing that. I like to be alone when I do this. Just kind of chatting out there. Hercules was favorite show of the '90s. It definitely was an awesome show. That and Xena. And does anybody remember? Oh, there were some shows. They all showed up around the same time, like Cleopatra 2525, and there was another one. Can't remember the name of it, but they were. It was like these Action Pack. I think they were called the Action Pack. God, that was a lot of fun, man. Good old days in television. They made 15 numbered series games. Final Fantasy 16 comes out next summer. 3 movies, a ton of spin-offs, Tactics, Type O, Dissidia, Crystal Chronicles, World of Final Fantasy. Good Lord Almighty, that's a lot of money. Man, I'd like to have a piece of that cash. 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s all had the best TV shows and films. I can't disagree. I know a lot of it's nostalgia, and a lot of young people today would say, "Oh, the teens really had some great movies." To 2010s. But yeah, you definitely get your favorites all chunked out early. And I would say like mid '90s, I start as like a. I mean, there's good stuff after the mid '90s, of course, like Lord of the Rings and a lot of stuff like that. But as far as fondness for an era, it's kind of where it ends. For me, I'm an '80s guy. The '80s. I ran the gambit from 15 to 25, so that's kind of my sweet spot. And I was like I said, Star Wars came out in '77. I was 12 or 11, turned 12 the next day after it came out. Still didn't see it for a while because films were distributed differently back then. You didn't get 4,000 theaters with the films in them. You usually got them in a couple of theaters in big cities, and they would eventually trickle out to smaller venues. So it was like August before we got it anywhere close. So, but yeah, it's a lot of fun. Plus, we had to drive in there. Star Wars is one of the last films I remember seeing at a drive-in. Star Wars and a double feature with the original War of the Worlds. Best double feature I've ever seen. I also remember a coal miner's daughter doubling with the Buck Rogers movie. That was fun too. But that was a long time ago. Speaking of mythos, how do I feel about Batman the animated series? I think it's one of the favorite Batman iterations. I think Batman animated series is awesome. I love the animation, the storytelling. Kevin Conroy, you can't beat him as the voice of Batman. Great voice cast. I liked all the ones that grew out of that era. The Superman animated series, Justice League Unlimited, and then New 52 happened, and they ripped the shorts off of everybody. It just wasn't the same. and they just will not let that aesthetic go, and that's kind of where they lose me a lot. There was a Sinbad. You're right, Troy, Sinbad. And I remember the actor on there, it's Gerzler. Oh, God, they had something like that. Began with a Z, or it had a G in the name, or something like that. And it started with a G. I forget, but yeah, Sinbad. It was not a great series. It was around the same time Beastmaster the series was on. I remember that was fun time. That was a fun time. There was a lot of good stuff back then. Uh, I wonder if we'll ever start a series rewatch sometime of any particular series or ones that we're talking about. I know, I don't know if Daniel Herron is still here. He and I watched a couple of episodes of Battlestar Galactica, the the 2004 reboot, and he was talking about kind of doing a truncated rewatch, like just select episodes. And he hasn't mentioned it since, but I'd be on board for doing something like that every once in a while. I was thinking about doing something like, Star Trek episodes, classics, or something like that. Uh, it's just that, like, with because I got a book rewatch, I got a not a rewatch, got a book study going on right now. Me and the prof just started Shatterpoint, the Mace Windu novel from the EU, now called Legends, on Tuesday nights around 9:30. So check out that. Uh, I I like to listen to Daniel Heron soundtracks of Birdman at 8:30 on Wednesdays usually, and the Birdman streams a lot, so keep a tab out for him. Troy streams on Friday nights at 10. I can't remember what's the name of that show again. I call it the Troy Drinking Show, and for some reason, that's what I always think about it as. Last Call. I think it's Last Call, if I am not mistaken. Always tune in for that. That's always good. Of course, Saturday nights, Netters Network and myself alternate weekends for rewatches. This weekend's mine, and doing Pacific Rim. And next week we're doing the original Blade Runner. Not sure which version yet. I think Troy and Net want to do the original theatrical version, which I don't have, but we'll see. I think it's still up in the air, but Blade Runner, we're doing it. And where we're doing it is on June 25th, which is the anniversary of when it was released. So nice little tie in there. That's why we held off on it. Um, uh, well, Pinhead's been to space and Leprechaun's into space. Jason went to space. What's that? Michael Myers and Chucky in space. I don't know about Michael Myers, but I wouldn't be surprised if Chucky ends up in space one day. I think it'd be easier. I think it's an easier leap of logic to put a doll in space than it would for Michael Myers. Just my thoughts. Comet TV channel reminds me of classic 90s sci-fi network. Yes. I was watching Comet TV yesterday. They had The Adventures of Hercules, the Lou Ferrigno film, and then they had The Barbarians with the Barbarian brothers, Peter and David Paul, if you remember those. That was a lot of fun. I sat and just watched that yesterday afternoon. That was a lot of fun. And it was just my nurse arrived at 2 and she saw the last half of Barbarians. And I was like, I love this kind of stuff. And so that was a lot of fun watching that. Yeah. Yeah, I like Comet. I like what Comet TV is doing. I think Comet TV is more Sci-Fi Channel than Sci-Fi Channel ever was, or claimed to be. Um, yeah, Sci-Fi Network has been showing Quantum Leap and Xena, or Sci-Fi. They need to change their name back to Sci-Fi. That whole SYFY thing, that was dumb day one. No Hercules TV show reruns. They did have Hercules for a while. Maybe they're alternating it with Xena. I don't know. I remember the first time I watched it, and you could not tell me if it was not made in the 21st century. I remember the first time I watched it, and you could not tell me it was not made first century. What are we talking about? Oh, Batman the animated series. Oh yeah, Batman the animated series is awesome. The Troy Drinking Show is the unofficial title. That's fine. It is Last Call, though, I believe. And I think is the official title. Uh, they're planning on running another Quantum Leap. Yeah, I've heard about it, and from what I've heard about it, I already don't like it. I just, I don't know. Now, I am going to give, this is not a sci-fi show, but they're rebooting Night Court, and they're bringing back John Larroquette as Dan Fielding, and the new judge is Harry Stone's daughter, played by the girl who played Bernadette in The Big Bang Theory. I'm going to give that a chance because every now and then I've been happily surprised by some new sitcoms that I've watched. That new Ghosts I like that's on CBS. I know it's a remake of a British show, but that's not always bad. Like The Office. Uh, I got into Mom a couple years ago, and I don't watch it that much anymore, but I liked Mom. Parks and Rec, I haven't watched in a while. I used to watch that almost every day, even just to my own self. It's the only series I have fully on my hard drive, ready to go. Is Parks and Rec. Love Parks and Rec. Big Bang Theory, I still watch all the time. Young Sheldon, I have really gotten to like even more so on rewatches than I did on repeats than I did the original broadcasts. Really liking it. Oh, going Ghost Team, Go Team Ghost Planet. Oh, so yeah, I'm not going to be on here too much longer. Uh, yeah, Friday night's last call. Yep, tomorrow night, Stephen Otten, also known as Deleted Scenes, is my guest. What you guys talking about tomorrow night? Just curious. We'll do a little promotion. If you want to promote what you're doing in the chat, go right ahead. Have you tried giving the new animated cartoons a try, the ones that came out in the early 21st century? Um, well, if you're talking about like the animated series and like Justice League Unlimited stuff, I enjoy that. Is that 21st century? I don't know. Um, I like the first couple of years of Young Justice. I haven't seen it since then. I've heard bad things, but I don't know. I still need to watch Clone Wars. I've never watched the Clone Wars series. I've seen the odd episode, uh, and I need to watch, like, properly watch the last season of Rebels. I like Rebels. I really do. I like uh, Kanan's like one of my top three favorite Jedi. I love that character. I'd like to see. If I wish he wasn't dead. I'm sad. Well, sorry, spoilers. You never know what you're going to get with me. Um, you're not going to watch it. I'm assuming that's Quantum Leap that you're talking about. Uh, yeah, Quantum Leap. I don't know. I got to hear. I'm really. Nothing makes me want to watch it right now. They might turn that around. I don't know. I'll see. I will go over what I am watching. Obi-Wan Kenobi, love it. Star Trek Strange New Worlds, absolutely fantastic. It's what I wish they had been giving us the entire time. And I do mean since Next Gen. I like it that much. The Orville, loving the Orville, very meta episode yesterday that premiered. 3 eps into the season and awesome show. Watch The Boys' new episode. They dropped their new episode today, episode 5. Really like it, but it is a rough show to watch if you're not into that kind of a thing, like gore and very, very evil kind of twists on people. I would not suggest it. I am enjoying it because I just do. I have a different threshold than a lot of other people do, and I like what I like, and I watch what I watch. That's just my thing. What else streaming wise am I watching? Of course, I'm waiting for Stranger Things to pop back on July 1st. I thought the new season was really good. Few things I would have cut out, like that dumbass stoner kid with the long hair. and the whole thing about the basketball team hunting hunting the D&D guy. But other than that, really liked it. And that last episode knocked it right out of the park for me. So yeah, lots of good stuff. I mean, there's a lot of good stuff out there. I'm really enjoying it. You were gone for a little while. Gets it's because he's done some nice and bad things. Killed a man, turning him into a deer. Oh, Artemis. Yeah. Yeah, she had her issues. But like I said, most of the gods did. Troy, really just interviewing him to talk about his channel. Probably get into general cinema discussion from there. Also did an interview with Pops on Pop Culture yesterday. I saw you were doing something, totally forgot about it, and then totally fell asleep last night, like early. What was I doing last night? Was I watching something? I don't remember. See, I don't remember. Last night is fuzzy for me. I remember watching Rat in the Kitchen, that new their last episode of the season, for some reason, and what was I doing last night? Because I know I watched Strange New Worlds and The Orville, which makes a great double feature, by the way. First time I've linked those two up. Uh, don't remember. I know How Many Men in Ancient Greece was towards women, but it was a bit harsh. Yeah, well, the old days, the good old days, as some people like to say. But no, I'm not always going to say that. Chowder, my gym partners, a monkey, Bill and Mandy. Oh, those, yeah, not really my kind of thing. Bill and Mandy, that's the one with the Grim Reaper guy. Never watched those. I don't like that weird animation that some of them have. That's just a personal thing, like Rick and Morty. I don't know. It's just kind of bizarre. I think Rick and Morty. I should give a try. A lot of people like it, but I don't know. Sometimes the animation style, I've got to like the animation of it, and because I used to like the Teen Titans before they went all goofy Teen Titans. Ugh, I hate the new Teen Titans go to or whatever they call it now. Oh god, I hated that. Am I dragging these notes? I know why Fat and Bald. I know Fat Thor was bad in Endgame, but it's not too far from Norse mythology, since Thor had quite the appetite. The uh, emasculating, on the other hand, in Endgame is bad. Yeah, you're right. I think they made some bad choices, but I still am going to watch Love and Thunder, even though it sounds like a really bad porn film, the title wise. I'm kind of interested in what they've got to show. I still like Thor. Uh, oh yeah, I started. Oh okay, don't judge me. I've started watching Ms. Marvel. Why? I don't know. Do I like it? I don't know, but I don't hate it. It's a little weird. It's definitely skewing younger. It is definitely for the younger set, I think. The tweens and the teens era. I'm kind of checking it out just because it's there. It's like a mountain. I'm just kind of climbing it. Uh, I have kind of a love, not quite love, almost hate relationship with the Marvel Disney Plus series. I started out liking WandaVision, hated the way it ended. I liked Loki, but hated the way it ended because of the villain. I really liked Hawkeye. Hawkeye was the first one that got it right to me. Um, Winter Soldier, Cap, that one, Falcon Winter Soldier. It's okay. Wasn't terrible. Kind of there. Uh, like I said, Hawkeye I really liked. Am I missing another one? Oh yeah, Miss Marvel's okay so far. I'm still kind of gathering my senses on it. Shut up, Alexa. I didn't talk to you. I didn't say anything that sounded like Alexa. And you just spoke again. Oh yes, rest in peace, Tom Sale. Yeah, I still wonder if will come back. I want. I like Sale's art except for one character he did from Spider-Man Blue. I did not like his lizard, and the prof gave me all kinds of grief about that. So, oh, you hate Tim Sale? No, I didn't like his lizard. That was all. Just a little too messy for me. But yeah, rest in peace, Tim Sale. That was sad. We've lost a lot of great artists lately. George Perez, Jim Lee, now Tim Sale. It's like, good lord. Cartoons and animated series. Yeah, I know. Like I said, I have a, just depends for me on what I watch. I don't really watch a lot of animated anymore, except for the odd South Park when I feel like it, or Family Guy, or American Dad. That's about it. That's only if there's absolutely nothing else on. Uh, Tim Sale made The Holiday Killer and redesigned Calendar Man. I have yet to read uh, the Long Halloween or what? Last Halloween, Long Halloween. Oh God, I can't remember. I'm having a brain fart. Um, but I never watched. I haven't read that one. I need to. I need to get it. Spider-Man Blue though is good. I did enjoy that. In fact, the prof um, dropped a reissue of when him and myself and Sierra from the old Iconicast days talked about Spider-Man Blue. It's on his channel right now. Big Al presents, well, you do you. I won't be watching any new stuff for the same reason as Prof and Fan Man. And that's fine. I don't mind that. Just don't call me crazy because I am gonna watch and because I like it. I do. I I have different threshold, I have different sensibility, and that is fine. We can all coexist. There's other things on, and but I just like it. There's some things I don't plan on watching, like Quantum Leap so far. Nothing makes me want to see that yet. Bill and Mandy is fun. Big Al Dexter's Laboratory, Johnny Bravo. Yeah, that was just kind of weird. The animation never caught me, and it just I don't know. I just never watched it really. I mean, I know them. I've seen them, design wise, and kind of have ideas. I've seen snippets, but I just have never sat down and really got into it. Um, ooh, get behind Teen Titans. Teen Titans Go sucks balls. Yeah, it does. It truly does. 21st century cartoons, the mastered and the general audience, in which the show is aimed towards the general audience instead of children, and is created as such. And you're right. That's good writing. But when you can um, make it, when you can entertain a child, but the adult also is entertained. And something else I'll tell you. I was thinking about it yesterday when I was talking to my nurse. I was talking about the Carol Burnett show, and the Carol Burnett show I used to watch when I was young because it was on the 70s and it was on Saturday nights. Little sketch show, and I loved it. Great, it's just funny stuff. And then I watched it as an adult, and I caught all the dirty jokes I never caught as a child. Good writing. You kind of get both, kind of can please both out there. Okay, Ralph. Okay, some more stuff. The Long Halloween. I knew it was. I could not get it for some reason. I couldn't get Last Halloween out of my head. Thank you, Troy. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Jim Lee isn't dead. Is it Jim Lee? I thought who died? Not Jim Lee. You're right. Oh, who did? Who's the other one? Oh Lord, who's the one that did pass away? It wasn't Jim Lee. I can't help me, guys. Who's the one that passed away? It wasn't Jim Lee. You're right. I did get that. I misspoke. But now I can't think of his name because I am hopeless. I'm hoping somebody will help me here. Did Superman for all seasons. The book was used as influence for Smallville. Let's face it, Big Al presents. You are crazy, regardless of what you do or don't like. Yeah, a little bit. You know, I don't call it crazy. I just call it being me. I've got to be truthful. I'm living my truth, as it were. Uh, Boomerang suck. Yeah, boomerangs not good. Yeah, I do. You know what? I will say one thing. I do miss the classics like Flintstones, the Jetsons, Johnny Quest. Was never that much into Space Ghost. Yeah, yeah. I know Tim Sales died, but who else died? Okay, we've lost Brayfogle, we lost Perez, and we lost Tim Sale. Who's the other one we lost? I can't think of his name. And I loved his art. And it's bugging the hell out of me. Okay, hold on a second. I've got to look it up. Because it's driving me crazy. I can't think, and because somebody could have just posted it and I wouldn't know. Because uh, Neil Adams, Neil Adams, that's who it was. Neil Adams. I always get him and Jim Lee screwed up. Sorry, it was Neil Adams passed away. Uh, but yeah, like I said, a lot of great art, a lot of great comic artists, classic, iconic artists. Like I mean, Brave when Brayfogle passed, that was rough, and and yeah, like I said, Neil Adams and just a lot of the ones I really like have had passed away, which is really sad. And I like comic art. I like artists because on my iconic Universal Monsters, I always like to post an art piece in the morning. Just somebody who's done some kind of painting or sketch or even something digital. I always did that. I did this, and like I said, on Batman, I did the same thing. I you know, I would do a classic cover or a piece of art. Uh, kind of um, on Maidens and Monsters. That was all art because it was just about maidens with monsters. Um, but yeah, just so many great artists that we have lost, and you just don't see that kind of artwork anymore. I mean, God forbid when Garcia Lopez goes, ugh, he's the greatest, if you ask me. Um, how about getting to the Halo games for the terrible show? I like third person games more than first person games, but Halo is interesting lore and universe. I'm willing to not let that slide, I'm thinking, or let that slide. Okay. Yeah, I haven't watched Halo. I thought about it, but I know nothing about the universe and I had other things to watch. So that's why I didn't watch it. Um, yeah, Tim Sale, George Perez, Danny. Yeah, a lot. But yeah, I said Jim Lee. I meant Neil Adams. For some reason, I get those names walked back and forth. I mean, I picture them, and I know they look nothing alike. Just me, just being stupid. Had Fanman still done streams or rewatches, I would love for all of us to rewatch the documentary Superheroes Unmasked with Goliath himself, Keith David, doing the narration. Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, God, oh, Keith David, great voice. Great voice. Yeah, I'd like to see. I haven't seen Gargoyles since it was on television originally. I used to watch it all the time. It was awesome, but I haven't watched it recently. Need to go back and watch it. But yeah, well, it's get. What time is it? I cannot see my. Ooh, 3:30. Wow, been on for about an hour, almost hour and a half here. Awesome. And I've only got a couple people watching right now. But yeah, I'm going to be heading on out. I'm glad everybody's was able to join me. Like I said, please watch tomorrow night on Films with Friends on my channel, Big Al Presents. Please like, subscribe, share. We're going to be doing Pacific Rim, joined by Troy and Nanette and Wolf 10 Media. Hope everyone has a great day. And, whoops, one of the best things Disney's ever made. You're right, Kay Landers. It is one of the best things Disney's ever made. Unless you count Snow White, the Seven Dwarfs, and Bambi. Sorry, just kind of going back in time there for a minute. But yeah, you'll definitely be watching tomorrow, Troy. I know that. Wouldn't have much of a show if it wasn't for you. Yeah, bye, Citrus Boss. Take care, everybody. Like I said, whatever you're watching, hope you enjoy it. That's why we should watch something with the hopes of enjoying it. Hashtag don't hate watch. Don't watch something if you are expecting or want to hate it, or because you want to pick out stuff to hate about it. That just that's just no fun, and I think it's pointless. But hope everyone has a great day. Thank you for joining me. I'm hoping to do more of these once in a while. I never know when I'm going to do it until I just feel like doing it. Uh, so we'll see what happens. Take care, everyone, and have a wonderful Friday and a wonderful weekend. And hopefully, I'll see you guys tomorrow night for Pacific Rim on Films with Friends, because it's time to cancel the apocalypse.